Welcome back to Starfish Coaching, and I'm excited to bring you another episode of my Founder Success Secrets interviews. This time, I'm interviewing Sandra Chavez of Sandra Jessica Interiors, and she's using the technologies like YouTube and Zoom to really push the envelope of interior design by offering really new, innovative types of services that has not been available before. So now let's introduce Sandra. Thank you, Sandra, for being on my show. How are you today?
I am good. It's a beautiful day here in Chicago. Can't complain.
Excellent. Well, we had a few technical difficulties before this, but thank God for editing. We can cut all that out and let's start fresh.
Okay.
I want to introduce you a little bit before I give you a chance to dive in to share some more details. But I found you from your YouTube channel, and that's interesting because I also have one and we both cover interior design. But what I found really intriguing is that here's this young designer covering about interior design and sharing knowledge with others. And I think that's amazing because it helps our interior design industry. So yeah, I'd like to now give you a chance to just tell us a bit about yourself, a bit about your business, and we'll get into details with questions.
Yeah, of course. So for those that don't know, my name is Sandra and I have my design firm called Sandra Jessica Interiors. I design residential and a little bit of commercial, and the projects really range from small project to like a 1-bedroom furnishing to a full gut renovation or a new build house. And my clients are just about anywhere, depending on travel. I had a client in Wisconsin and Indiana. And I also offer EDesign services for those that are a little bit more further out and, just need help kind of furnishing their apartment and that sort of stuff.
That's awesome. I love how you're embracing technology with EDesign and all that, and I want to dive into that. But let's start with some introductory questions, which is like one of the things I always love asking people is how they found interior design. Like what made you decide to get into interior design?
Yeah, it's a funny story actually. When I was a sophomore in high school, I had initially took a fashion design class and I thought I was going to be a fashion designer. So I took the class and it just didn't go well for me. I realized I can't sew, I can't do any of the stuff that fashion design involves. So I went to my counselor and I told her I don't know what else I can do, what other outlet, because I want to be creative. I want to be in the creative industry, but I just don't know what it could be. And she had suggested, why don't you take an interior design class? And I was like, what is that? Nobody really knew what that was. So I was like, okay, I'll just take it. And then I took my interior design class. The teacher was amazing. And from there, I was like, this is where I belong. This is what I need to do with my life.
That's awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you found interior design. So then I guess the next step was your own business. So I'm curious why you decided to start your own business.
Yeah, it was always a thought in my head. It was always a little seed, oh, one day I'll start my business. But it just didn't seem like a reality. And it was until one day I was like, you know what? It's the day. I'm going to do it. And it was kind of a little bit of a battle getting there because I was deciding on working at a job in Florida, a different design job. So I was either I move there or I start my business. And then COVID happened. So I was like, you know what, maybe this is a sign. Start my business.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you dove right into it. And your YouTube channel is very successful. I'm curious how the YouTube channel has helped your interior design business.
It's so funny. I had uploaded this video called 1-Bedroom Design for Men. It was just a fun video. Didn't really think much of it because at that time I was just kind of starting my YouTube channel, growing it. And that video blew up. I was so shocked because I had all these people coming at me, send me emails asking me to design their apartment. It was mostly males because they needed help, making it look well designed. So I had a lot of clients through that one video. And initially, I had that EDesign service. So it was really funny how it was one video that I thought was silly and it just took it to another level.
Yeah, you never know with YouTube, I guess. That's the interesting thing about it. Yeah. So for those out there who are thinking about starting a YouTube channel, what tip would you give to grow their channel, especially around the design field?
Yeah, it's gonna sound cliche, but I say be yourself and don't let other YouTubers influence what you're gonna be putting out, how you're gonna be designing your thumbnails. I know there's such a stigma like, okay, what they're doing is working for them, so maybe I should copy, but nobody wants a duplicate of someone. I say do it how you want to be perceived, how you want to be shown, to how you want to be other people to see you. If you're really funky or if you're really minimalist, I would say just be yourself, stick to your guts, and don't let others influence you, because it can take over you. You may want to copy other people, and you may look at other people's channel for inspiration and kind of tweak it and make it your own, but don't necessarily copy everyone. Just be yourself.
Right. I think that's a great tip. And actually, I think that also applies for design, right? Like,
It does.
yeah, when we're starting out, of course, we're new, so we're looking for inspiration. But would you say that's the same as like find your own design, find your own aesthetic?
Yes, really. Because us designers, we browse on Pinterest, we look at other designers' work, and we see that as inspiration, and then we think, oh, that's really cool, but what if I change this and this and this? And essentially, you don't copy the whole design, you copy like very minimal things, and you transform it into something completely different because of you putting your own ideas and concepts in it.
Yeah, for sure. So maybe let's talk a bit about your journey as a designer. Thinking about when you first started to really a point where you feel like, okay, you've kind of got your own design or your own aesthetic now. How was that journey for you? Share that with the new designers.
Yeah, it was kind of a journey because I had some trouble finding my own personal style because, again, I kind of fell into the trap of like, okay, this is what's working for other designers. This is what everyone likes. But essentially, I kind of discovered that my style is what my clients like. I don't like to push my clients to have something trendy or do something that's what everyone is doing. I like to really kind of dive deep on what they like, what's their hobbies, what colors make them feel alive. So that's what my aesthetic is celebrating their styles, their personal styles, their lives, and making it work for them.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's so important. Like I do residential custom homes and interior design, and I always tell people it's not my house I'm designing, it's what you want,
Yeah.
and I'm here to help you fulfill that vision, right?
Exactly.
That's awesome. So with what's interesting about you is you're offering this, I would say, fairly new service called EDesign. Maybe talk us through that. Some audience on the show might not have heard of that. So what is EDesign and how do you do it?
eDesign is where I'm able to help clients who live far away in a different state and don't have a designer in the area that they necessarily like or connect to. So we meet on Zoom. We have our consultation through Zoom where we can meet each other, kind of really see who you are as a person, find out what they like and dislike and all that good stuff. We hash out it all in the consultation. And then after that is when I pretty much just kind of like send them a wrap up email, and so I'm like, this is what we talked about. This is my process. These are the fees. And then if they decide to move forward, then we start right into the design phase. But obviously, it's I ask them to send me dimensions and pictures, so I rely on them to send me the dimensions and pictures because I'm not there. So I like to make the process relatively quick and really easy for those that are out of state. So after I get that, that's when I start on the design, and then we have our presentation through Zoom, and then we just kind of make and tweak some revisions if they need to. And then I send them the whole design with the budget and everything.
Right. Yeah, I think that's so innovative, especially in these times. Like, why not, right? Why have borders? Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you say that e-design is only for a certain aspect of interior design, or do you see that possible for any scope of interior design?
I would say it would be easy and doable for just furnishing a space, an apartment, because once you get to like renovations or projects a little bit more complicated, I feel like that's when it's a little difficult to do e-design with those type of projects, because us designers were not there to see, and those types of projects are really big, and there's a lot of things that come in mind that we need to be there to see or talk to the contractor. So I would say it would be I would say it's doable for like small projects.
Right. Okay, that's cool. Well, you've obviously pushed the innovation boundaries with your design, which I think is really refreshing, because I think interior design could be seen as one of those kind of old professions compared to the new stuff
Yeah.
out there, right? But you're definitely trying to kind of mix the two. So let's play a bit of game, and let's just imagine 10 years from now. What do you think interior design would be like? Like, how would technology, how would interior design, the work and the business change in 10 years?
Ooh, that's a good question. I know one thing that designers are doing are they're creating like these VR sets where the clients put on the goggles and they can, kind of walk through their space virtually. So I think we might see a little bit more of that and kind of advance more in the future, because people really want to feel the experience before, diving into or buying all the materials, or, pulling the plug on, all right, let's do it.
Right.
So I think maybe a little bit more of that.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Actually, I was starting to see condo showrooms start using that
Yeah.
technology, and I thought, wow, that's actually pretty cool. And as the
Yeah,
technology
yeah.
picks up, it's going to be cheaper, then it's going to be more accessible for the masses, right?
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I was also thinking is like this whole kind of metaverse intrigues me. Good and bad. Bad in the sense that we're going to be locked into this virtual reality world and we'll never have a real physical interaction. But it's exciting because there's this whole, like, people are talking about developing in the meta world. You can buy a piece of land, then you can build this virtual home. I thought that'd be pretty cool, like, especially for designers of architecture and interior to really dive into that realm. What do you think about that?
I've never really thought about it that way. But that does really sound interesting. And it kind of reminded me of, I think not too long ago, I saw a video of someone designing a house using like a 3D printer maybe. And I thought that was really cool and different. And I think that maybe could potentially be the future. Like, you design your own house using some type of like 3D printing.
That would be cool.
So I can't remember exactly the name of that video, but kind of reminded me
That's
of that.
awesome. Yeah, it's exciting talking about this stuff. But with, I think with technology now, you've obviously shown that you can e-design to someone that's not in your city. So I love that. And you've shown that you can use the power of YouTube and other social media platforms to promote your business. So I love all that. What would you say is a tip that you would like to give to new designers coming into the industry? Because you've shown that it could be new and different.
Yeah. So I have a couple of tips for new designers. First off, go to school. I know people try to be self-taught, but there's just a lot of things that interior design can really go into depth. So go to school, like get a associate's or bachelor's or certificate, some type of schooling to learn a little bit more about the field and for you to be confident in your skills. Second thing is it's going to be a lot of work in school and in the field, but as long as you love what you do, it doesn't feel like a typical 9 to 5. It's you're creating, you're designing. It's just a whole different field. Just don't let other people kind of get to you or tell you your designs are whack or something. Some teachers may say that during school, and I had a teacher that was like really harsh and made people cry. So I was like, don't let that get to you or feel discouraged. You will get there.
That's so awesome.
It just takes time and experience.
Yeah, I think those are great tips. I think back to my journey as a designer, and as a coach, I actually coach a lot on mindset to success. And like your tip, you only fail when you decide to quit, right? There's never a fail until you say, okay, that's it, I'm not doing it. But if you just push forward, you're going to grow as a designer, as a business person, and you'll find your own success. But the key behind that is your tip number 2, which is that passion. You got to align with your passion, your purpose, why you're doing it, and that's going to pull you right through. So those are some great tips you shared there.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said it because it's about mindset, and especially if you start your own business, really is about mindset and how you take failures, because there will be some rough times. But yeah, that's as long as you kind of keep being positive, you'll see the light.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll get
And
that.
I think that's a key thing that you pointed out is the difference between being an interior designer for a company working for someone and an interior designer doing your own business. And I think it's so far off. Like,
it really
yeah,
is.
when you get into interior design after school, you're thinking, oh, that's easy, I learned everything in school. And you kind of did, but on the design side. If you choose to start your own business, there's so much more that you have to learn. It's almost like a separate degree that you're learning on your own.
It really is, because when you're working for a design firm, you don't have to worry about the accounting part or how you're going to get your next client. You just show up, you do the designs, and then you go home. And you basically kind of just do the fun stuff. Whereas when you have your business, you have to deal with the hard and tough stuff that you don't necessarily want to deal with. But at the end of the day, that's your baby. So of course, you want to put that effort to be successful and succeed.
Right. Yeah, and once you get to that point, it's going to feel so rewarding that you've built your brand, from zero up to here. And that's why we do it as business owners.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Of course.
Okay, well, I'd like to just end off with if there's anything else you'd like to share with the audience, and then also how do they find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on various platforms. Instagram, I have my business, Sandra Jessica Interiors. My YouTube is Sandra Jessica Chavez. And I also have Pinterest on there. So if you guys want to follow me on Pinterest, it's all linked on my YouTube banner. And then my website, you can find me on sandrajessicainteriors.com.
Great. Thank you so much again for your time. It's been great sharing some knowledge with the audience and so much from you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. I'm delighted to be on your podcast, and it's one of my goals to collab with other creators. So I'm so happy you reached out.
Thank you so much. I hope you liked that video and what Sandra had to share with us. I think it's such valuable information that she's sharing, especially for new designers. If you have more questions for Sandra, leave it in the comments and I'll make sure that she gets to it and give a response. And if you're a new designer thinking about starting your own business, then please check out my training website at designersbusinessacademy.net, where I provide training platform and group coaching to help you succeed in the design of business.